Today I'll show you how you can deploy your AI agents to GKE with security and efficiency in mind. I'm Regnard Raquedan, a senior ecosystem solutions architect at GitLab, and I help team members, customers, and partners alike learn more about our integrations with Google Cloud and how to make the most out of our joint platforms. So why choose GKE for deploying your AI agents? GKE gives you enterprise-grade orchestration that connects seamlessly with your existing GitLab CI/CD pipelines through OIDC authentication. This means your organization can deploy AI agents while maintaining complete visibility, compliance, and control over your infrastructure. Let me highlight three key advantages. First, you maintain full infrastructure control: your data, your rules, your environment. Second, native GitLab integration means no complex workarounds. Your existing pipelines work right out of the box. And third, production-grade scaling. GKE automatically handles the heavy lifting as your AI workloads grow. Bottom line, GKE provides enterprise reliability your AI deployments demand without sacrificing the developer experience your teams expect. Let me walk you through our deployment architecture and how everything flows together. On the left, we start with your development team. They commit code to GitLab source code repository. That's step one. Before everything gets deployed, the code goes through automated security scans at step two. This ensures vulnerabilities are caught early before they even reach any environment. Once the code passes security checks, it moves to step three, the CI/CD pipeline. This is where GitLab orchestrates the build and deployment process. Now we cross over to Google Cloud. At step 4, the CI/CD pipeline pushes the container images to Google's Artifact Registry, your secure private container repository. From there, step 5, GKE pulls those images from the Artifact Registry and deploys them to your Kubernetes cluster. And finally, step 6. Users access the deployed application running on GKE. Notice how this creates a secure, automated pipeline from code commit to production, with built-in security, artifact management, and enterprise-grade orchestration at every step. Everything is traceable, auditable, and controlled. Now let's talk prerequisites. Please make sure you have these APIs enabled: GKE, Artifact Registry, and Vertex AI. Also make sure that you have your GitLab project created and your GKE clustered provisioned before you start. For the demo today, we will have 4 main steps. The first is to set up the IAM and permissions on GitLab, then set up the Artifact Registry integration on GitLab and the Google Cloud Artifact Registry. And then the third is to set up the CI/CD pipeline, which will have the Kubernetes configuration. And then finally, we deploy to GKE. Okay, now we're here at GitLab, and I'll show you how we will go ahead. We're now here at GitLab, and I'll show you how. So now let's proceed. So the first step is to set up the IAM configuration at GitLab, and we do that via the integrations section at GitLab, and this is where I will set up the permissions for the IAM at GitLab and Google Cloud. Now, since I am using a group level integration or configuration, notice that there are default settings already inherited by this project, so I am good with that one. But all I need to set that up, I was setting this up from scratch, was to provide the project ID, the project number, and then provide workload identity federation, pool ID, and provider ID. So once that's set up, you'll be provided with a script that you'll run at the Google Cloud console. Okay. Now the next step is to configure the Artifact Registry integration, and we just go back to the integration settings, and we click the Artifact Management. I had set this up before, but this will be in another part of this page if it's the first time. Now I'll click Artifact Management, and in here, I need to provide the project ID the repository name, which I had created prior, and then the repository location. Once I provide that, GitLab will be providing me with this script again that I will run in Google Cloud Console. All right, before we proceed to the next step, I want to make sure to remind you that you should have added extra roles to the workload identity federation that was set up in the very first step, and that is to add the service account user, Kubernetes developer, and Kubernetes cluster viewer to the workload identity federation pool so that you'll be able to deploy to Kubernetes in our subsequent steps. Now the fun part, to create the CI/CD pipeline for this deployment. So I head on to Build and Pipeline Editor. I'll zoom in. Now notice that in my pipeline I created and defined 4 steps: the build stage, test stage, upload stage, and deploy. The build stage is where Docker will create the container image. The second stage is I've used GitLab's Auto DevOps to use built-in security scans and ensure that there are no vulnerabilities as this deployment is made. The upload stage, which will use the built-in CI/CD component support that will then be used to create the deployment to Google's Artifact Registry. And once it's there, it'll then be deployed to GKE using our Kubernetes configuration script. So I've defined a few variables right here. There's the build stage, the Auto DevOps templates, then the CI/CD component, and then your deployment stage. Now, I'll let you play around and explore the code that I'll be providing in this for this video. But that being said, what makes this work and why we need this extra configuration for GKE is that we must have a Kubernetes service account in the cluster, okay, that will work with Vertex AI. And we need that service account to be permitted to access the AI capabilities of Google Cloud. So otherwise, if we don't do that, we can deploy this, we will be able to deploy this application, but then the AI agent will not be working. So we need to create that Kubernetes service account that will be able to access Vertex AI. So yeah, so there's that. Once we are done, we push this change to the pipeline and we're good to go. So you can see I just deployed this minutes ago. And if we just go to the pipeline, you can see that there are 4 stages: the build stage, the test stage, the upload, and deploy. Okay, and the tests we've defined are all in there. The upload to Artifact Registry was successful, and then deployment to Kubernetes in GKE was a success. So there you have it. You saw with Google Cloud and GitLab together, you're able to deploy your AI agent to GKE with ease and security. Now, we didn't have to go through a lot of steps. We were able to do that thanks to GitLab's native integration with Google Cloud. So with that, happy deploying to Kubernetes.